Hey everyone, it's Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. We have got a very exciting one lined up today. Matias Kvistgaarden being linked, and probably being more than linked, with Norwich City at the moment. We have got a very exciting 23-year-old Danish international potentially moving to Norwich City. It's really intensified over the last 24 hours. I've seen this rumour intensifying, getting stronger. The links between Brøndby and Norwich City getting ever closer. Let's cover off what we're expecting from this man in this video today. A massive thank you also to all of the comments on the recent video. You guys seemingly are loving this new look to TNC. Let me know if you've got any comments, feedback down in the comment section. It's going to be an evolving process this season, but I'm hoping that through recent videos and podcasts you can sense my excitement, not only for Norwich City but this channel this season. I think we're going to have a really good one. So lock yourselves in, and hopefully we can have a lot of fun. If you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. There's various perks that you can find out. If you're just on the YouTube section, just press join and you can see all those membership tiers. Anyway, enough about that. Matias Kvistgaarden. Let's get into this. This is a really, really exciting one. You can see on here, I think we should probably start off by those clubs that have been linked with Matthias. And if Norwich City can get the signature of this man, then Ben Napper deserves knighting. Give him keys to the city, whatever he wants. He's got Ligue 1 interest with Lens, Celtic in for him, West Ham in for him, Eintracht Frankfurt very interested. They'll be playing Champions League football next season. There is an offer here for Matias Kvistgaarden to play Champions League football next season. And if we're to believe reports, and if we're to believe the things that we're reading, there is a strong possibility that this man will be joining Norwich City next season. Norwich City that finished 13th place in the Championship, the second tier of English football last season. But something's happening, something's building here with Ben Napper and Liam Manning. They've already got the signature of Harry Darling, Jakov Medic coming in from Ajax, Vladan Kovacevic coming in from Sporting. Big clubs that Norwich City is starting to deal with here. And can Matias Kvistgaarden be the next coming in from Brøndby? Now, let's see who he is, first of all. He's 23 years old. He has scored 47 goals in 125 appearances for Brøndby out in Denmark. Now, you may recognise Brøndby. That's because Oscar Schwartau and Anis Ben Sulemani have previously played for Brøndby, so these guys will know each other. Last season for Brøndby, he's been there his whole career. 38 appearances, 23 goals, 6 assists, 29 goal contributions from 38 games for this lad. Now, the rumoured fee is looking to be around about the £12 million mark. I've heard anything from between £10 to £14 million. Now, that's a lot of money. Thanks, Jack, for stating the obvious. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a Championship football club to be spending on a player. This, I think, and we've seen it maybe with some of the signings we've made last season with Ante Cianats and Mate Jurasec, who were also big money, £5-6 million. Ante Cianats was nearer the £8 million mark. But this is another level. This is a top tier Championship signing. This would be, you sign a £12 million player in the Premier League, that gets noticed. Norwich are in the Championship. This, I think, is a sign of intent of this new ownership group in the Atanasios. Norwich City is still in the race. If we're believing reports from out in Denmark, Matias Kvistgaarden has opted for Norwich City over Lens out in France. He wants to play Premier League football. He sees Norwich City as being a really good stepping stone for that. And when I say stepping stone, I mean to stay with Norwich, but to elevate us into the Premier League. Yes, West Ham might be in for him, but I suspect first team regular football might not be a guarantee. And at 23 years old, it's important that he remains playing regular football. So if we're believing what we're reading, then Lens have been in for him. They've made a bid. Brøndby are happy. Norwich City have also tabled a bid here, and Matias Kvistgaarden has gone, I want to play for Norwich City Football Club. Now, he's been training with Brøndby this week. I'm not expecting anything imminent over this weekend, and I think it has to be stated the level of competition we're up against here to sign this man. top tier of France, top tier of Scotland, top tier of England, top tier of German clubs coming in wanting the signature of this man. And you can see why. The goal scoring numbers are pretty good. Very good, in fact. He can play as a striker. He can play as a left winger. He can play as a right winger. And I think Norwich fans are going, okay, so what, who is this replacing? Is it replacing Sargent? Is it replacing Borja Sainz? I think I see this as a direct Borja Sainz replacement. Borja Sainz is definitely off. I think Porto probably the club that he ends up at, and they'll get a decent chunk of money for Borja Sainz. Probably a similar, if not a larger amount than what we will potentially pay for Mathias Kvistgaarden. So see this as a pretty much direct replacement for Borja Sainz. There'll be a video probably tomorrow on Josh Sargent because those rumours are starting to intensify. And like we thought, those rumours coming from the Premier League, I think Burnley and Leeds United are interested in him. But if Josh Sargent were to leave, it feels like you've already got a direct replacement. I'm not saying he's as good, Ante Cianats, as Josh Sargent, but you do have a player that wants to play the number 9. Ben Napa sees him as a number 9, and I assume that Liam Manning will see him as a number 9. So you've then got a front three. I know I'm jumping through some hoops here, but you've got a front three of Ante Cianats in the 9, Mate Jurisic, and Mathias Kvistgaarden. Ante Cianats, £8 million. Matthias Kizgard, £12 million. Mate Jurisic, £6 million. That's a 20 plus million pound front three. That's a serious front three in the Championship. And who knows if it works? Who knows if it will work? But it's a sign of intent. And again, I keep talking about player profiles. Player profile this, player profile that. It's because it's important. Where Norwich have been in the past and where Norwich are now, we have been so used to signing 18-year-old prospects or 34-year-old has-beens that want to come to Norwich City and top up their pension. Now, yes, both ends of that spectrum are needed to some extent, but you need players in their prime. You need players to do it now. You need a team of players hungry, wanting to progress their careers. You look at Norwich City's most successful signings in recent times. Gabi Sara pops to mind, a player that had already proven himself to an extent, but was coming to England to further his career and was in his prime. He did exactly that. And actually, Gabi Sara is probably a really good example here of why Norwich City have a genuine chance of signing Matias Kvistgaarden. Borja Sainz, Gabi Sara came here. Yes, exciting prospect, but maybe hadn't quite hit the heights yet. Come to Norwich City. Sara goes for £25 million to a massive European club. Borja Sainz probably going to go for £15+ million to another massive European club in Porto. That, if you're a player, if you're a 23-year-old Dane who wants to continue to progress his international career, he made his full debut for Denmark earlier this year. His development through Brøndby has been really good, but it's Brøndby. No disrespect to them, they are a big club. But the potential to come here and maybe play in the Premier League one day or play for a European giant, we've forged that pathway. That's a really attractive proposition for a football player. So it makes sense for Kvistgaarden, and my goodness, does it make sense for Norwich City. Let's take a look. I showed it on the last video, but we saw the signings that we've made so far, right? Jacob Wright, Vladan Kovacevic, Jakov Medic, Harry Darling, Dan Grimshaw, Louis Molden. Now, fine. I'm happy with those signings so far. Jacob Wright, defensive midfielder, Vladan Kovacevic, goalkeeper, Jakov Medic, defender, Harry Darling, defender, Grimshaw and Molden, both goalkeepers, right? So you've basically signed defensive players. Norwich City now need to make a real impact in that attacking area of the pitch. We've lost Onel Hernandez. We've probably lost Dobbin. Borja Sainz is going. It's likely that Josh Sargent will go. You've not got many left. You need to make an impact now in that area of the pitch. And this guy, Mathias Kvistgaarden, I'm really excited about. I remember the rumours first surfacing around Harry Darling, and I was going, that would be a serious scoop if we could get Harry Darling. Because there was competition, you had Sheffield United, Birmingham, Wrexham, and I know they don't sound massive clubs, but in the Championship they will be up for a fight, and there's money there. This is an entirely different proposition. Frankfurt, Champions League, Celtic, giants in Scotland, West Ham, French top tier with Lyon. If Norwich City can scoop this guy, that's a serious sign of intent. So watch this space. Get excited. This is one to genuinely get excited about. I can't say I've watched loads of Kvistgaarden, but I have heard of him before. I know the excitement surrounding him. I've got stuck in, as we all do, to some of the compilations and highlights packages. He's so multifaceted. He can play out wide. He can play through the middle. Scores a ton of different goals. I like the fact that he knows a couple of the Norwich boys already in Schwartau and Slimane. I like his development so far. I like his consistency so far. 2021 played 20 times, 35 times in 2022, 28 times in 2023, 38 times last season. Regular starter, continual development. Fits the bill. Ben Napper, if you get this one done, mate, keys to the city. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.